Hello everyone, welcome back to the ninth episode of podcast from Innovative Astro Solutions. In continuation to the last episode, we are going to discuss on astrology softwares with Aswin Subramanyan. Let us continue.
Most of the people I know, like who listens this podcast, maybe like the who are the beginners in astrology who is trying to learn astrology. So for them, like what would be the like software, like both in Western and both in Vedic, what would be the best recommendations?
Sir, as far as I am concerned, I think I would not recommend a beginner to actually use a paid software because before I think it's not necessarily a payment; it is an investment to your astrology career, right? So
Right.
I surely would recommend them to use a free program in Vedic astrology. I would recommend Jagannath Hora, and in Western astrology, I would recommend Planet Dance.
Okay.
I can also share the links with you later on. But once they're getting used to these free programs, and when they feel the need that they need to expand a little bit more, and they want to if their research capability and if their research interest is widening, at that time I think they should try and use the trial versions of all these programs, whatever I mentioned. So when they use the trial program, it will be easier for them to kind of I think trial program comes with 30 to 60 days usage. So in 30 to 60 days usage, even if you spend 15-20 minutes a day, I think most of us will be able to kind of come to a conclusion which software is very user friendly for us, because for each of us the opinion differs and we need things in different ways. So I think everyone should choose for themselves. But as far as beginners go, I think I won't recommend them to make an investment or start paying for a software, because I think they need to get used to the subject and they need to kind of play with the subject before actually trying to invest any money in it. So it is actually most recommended. That's what I would recommend, because they need to find for themselves like which one is good for them. So we can only give suggestions and recommendations, but ultimately I think the usage of a software and the customization of different softwares for the taste of different people, it's very difficult. For example, I chose Janus because it's very minimalistic. So I like minimalistic view, and I don't like too much of options thrown on my face. So especially when I see the wheel, it should be clean and neat. I don't want so many colors in the software. So it's always better for me if it is black and white, and so I can use minimal things only that I need. I can actually shut out other things from the screen. So, but there are so many softwares. Even most, for example, Planet Dance is a free software, but it offers so many things, and it's like there is a lot on the screen. Some people will be very comfortable with that, but for me it's very difficult. And especially for me, when I print the images, the image should be very clean and neat, and there should not be any colors. I don't like colors in an astrological program, and hence I chose Janus. For Vedic astrology, I'm currently using Kala, but I'm not really satisfied with Kala. I think it costs around $100 or something for those who are residing in India. But still, it just offers me some really basic features, and I mean there are some good features, but I think for mundane matters, and especially for advanced research like compressing tasas and all those things, I won't recommend Kala. So it's better to go with Parashara's Light or Sri Jyotish Star. But for initial things, I surely will recommend Jagannath Hora for Vedic astrology and Planet Dance for Western astrology.
Right. Okay, makes sense. Probably like my experience of astrology software started in early 2000, like in 2002. That is when I started learning astrology, and during my college days, and I used a software called Junior Jyotish.
Okay.
At that time, it was a free software. It is very light. It is very light. It shows only some like 6 or 7 charts. Like Rashi, Navamsha, then Dashapukti, and it will have divisional charts. Not even too many divisional charts, some 5 or 6 divisional charts. That's all. It does not have any Shadbara, Ashtavarka, nothing. But it's very light. For a beginner like me at that time, like that was like a super easy software to install and use it. So that is how I started using in 2002. Then fortunately, like my brother at the time completed computer science engineering. So he also learned astrology in very early, actually, before me he started learning. So in 2004, he developed a software called AstroSoft. It is still available now. It is an open. The source code is still open for public. Like anyone can take it and even try to collaborate and modify it. So we have that option. So it is freely available, and that is the software. AstroSoft is what currently I use it for my consulting services. So apart from that, I heavily use Jagannatha Hora because it has a lot of options, especially for yearly analysis like Tajaka systems and Varshapal. So for that, I think the Jagannatha Hora is the only software that has that feature. So that's really useful, like to analyze yearly charts. So that is something I use. So I have only these many experiences to software. Like I don't use many softwares. Jagannatha Hora, I use it for Varshapal and my own AstroSoft software for my consulting services. So this is my experience with the astrology software. Then, like probably we can touch upon. I think one more software that I heard, like Astrolog. You might have heard it also. It has an option to view the sky with the timeline also. Like you can even fast forward and you can see the timelines. So probably like we can touch upon like any software you heard about, like that has some astronomical features, like anything that we can view night sky or with some time lapse or something like that. You have any experience of seeing the such kind of software?
I have not used any features in astrology softwares. Maybe there are such features in the softwares that I use, but I think Stellarium is one of the softwares. It's a free software where you can look at the sky and planetary movements from an astronomical point of view. But as far as softwares go, I'm not sure. But I think it will be available in some of the Western programs, especially like Solar Fire and Sirius. But I'm not very sure about it because I have not researched from that angle.
Okay. Yeah, I think Stellarium is a good point. You good that you brought up that point. Yeah, I have also used Stellarium. Like it is a beautiful software to view the planetary motions. Like it's exactly shows the view from the Earth actually. So whatever you see from the Earth, you can see in that software. You can stimulate. So you can do a lot of things, and it's of course it is a free software. I think it recently they also launched the web version also. Because in late 2000s, when I was using Stellarium, I think it was like a desktop version where you need to install, and it is not something light; it is little heavy. But now, recently, I saw it. They have the web version also. So that is a really beautiful software. Like people who are interested in astronomy, astronomical aspects, then I think Stellarium is something I would strongly recommend.
Okay. Stellarium is it's very useful for sure.
Yes, definitely.
So let us take a pause here and we will continue the discussion in the next episode. Thank you, listeners. We have come to the end of this episode. If you have any questions in this episode or any of the previous episodes, please feel free to record your questions in a voice message and send to my WhatsApp number. Please make a note of my WhatsApp number. It is 90084772228. Let me repeat, 90084772228. Thank you again to all the listeners. Meet you again in another episode.